Driving up to catch a shadow bus. You know, see, there's a cliff down there. And this guy just not looking anywhere but the road.
Yeah, scary. You gotta look at the road.
And this is not.
I gotta have tunnel vision.
And this is not even the scary part yet.
I would not want to drive my car off 14,000 feet. These are mountains. 60.
1888, and at the time the only way to get up to the summit was by foot, horse, or mule. And a lot of people are unaware that this national park was a package deal with the Louisiana Purchase from the French. And in his day, President Lincoln was known to visit the park twice a year. And just recently, here in the park, let's say about 2 weeks ago, we had the annual motor race to the top, which starts here at the 7-mile marker and ends at the summit. And that event started in 1916. And at the time, the fastest time to the top was 21 minutes. It will take us about double that to get up there. And in 2018, a gentleman driving an electric VW truck started his run here at the 7-mile marker, and he made it up to the summit in 7 minutes and 57 seconds. Yeah, it's pretty quick. I did stash some racing helmets under your seat, and my bus has turbo. So if you guys want to try to beat that record, just let me know. That same gentleman last year driving the same electric VW truck started his run at the 7-mile marker, and he made it about halfway up the mountain, and then his truck broke down. But once he got it started again and he completed the race, he still finished in 8 minutes and 53 seconds. So had it not been for the breakdown, he potentially could have broken his own record. The record does still stand for 7 minutes and 57 seconds because 2 weeks ago during the race, they had to shorten the course due to extreme weather here in the park. There was snow and ice up at the summit and on the road, and there were 100-mile-an-hour winds throughout the park. So the record still stands. And we are quickly coming up on the 8-mile marker, and that particular portion of the park has been nicknamed Tornado Alley, and that is because 2 years ago in May, a blizzard hit the mountain, spawned a tornado, and that tornado touched down on the left side of the road way back at the 4-mile marker, and it cut its way across to the 8-mile marker, jumped over the road, and touched down for a second time on the right side of the road. Hairpin turns, and this one is not tight at all, but as we progress up the mountain, they get tighter and tighter. And my little transmitter that stops the traffic is dead, so we'll see if we can get around these corners okay without it.
Out of 16.
There are 2 other races that happen here in the park. One being the annual bike race to the top, and the other is the Pikes Peak Marathon, which is the oldest marathon in the U.S. And I will say that I think you guys all made the right choice by not driving your personal vehicle up this mountain, I have seen dozens and dozens and dozens of vehicles get towed off the mountain. And usually for the cars going up, it's due to overheating. And for the cars coming down, it's usually due to brake failure. Last year I was making my last run down the mountain. It was about 6:15, 6:30 in the evening, and I noticed an SUV coming up the mountain and it was smoking. So I radioed the rangers and to let them know that a vehicle was coming up the mountain and it was already smoking. And by the time that SUV and I met somewhere around the 15, 16 mile marker, the whole front end of the car was on fire. The car was full of smoke. So I pulled over, I radioed the rangers, they pulled over to the right, and let me tell you, their car was full of smoke, so they couldn't see. And they had maybe about 3 inches of road left. Any further to the right, they would have toppled over. And so 7 people jumped out of the SUV. They did have their own fire extinguisher. I'm not sure how they managed to get the hood up, but they managed to get the hood up. And they put out the flames. And then the car caught back on fire. And the rangers finally showed up. And the rangers put the flames out for a second time. And when it was all said and done, they had completely melted their engine block. It's gone. True story. But it was a rental, and they had insurance. And that car sat up here for 4 days with its hood up, and I would take guests by the car and say, that's why you don't drive your car up here. Shortly after that completion of the first 6 miles, the park got sued for contamination of the surrounding waterways and the 3 reservoirs here in the park due to runoff. So in 1990, the park decided, okay, let's pave the rest of the way up to the summit from the 6 mile marker. They didn't start work until 2002. They completed the work in 2012, so it took 10 years to build 13 miles of road and nearly 40 just to make a decision about it, you know. I'm gonna guess environmental red tape. I'm not sure why it took so long, but that's just my guess. Test out their latest models, and a couple years ago we had Lamborghini up here testing out one of their models, and the driver lost control and he went over the edge. He did survive the incident, but he did wreck a $300,000 car up here. And there are instances of cars going over during the motor race to the top. They used to let motorcycles participate in the motor race, but there have been too many incidents involving motorcycles. I think since 1916 there have been 7 motorcycle fatalities, so they no longer allow motorcycles to compete in the race. And that's really the only instances I know of cars going over. There have been 4 buses that have gone over. Just kidding. Just seeing if you guys paying attention. No buses have gone over. But I will tell you this. Last year, during a 2-day period, it was Thursday, Friday, we had several severe thunderstorms hit the mountain, and we had 2 buses and 8 cars struck by lightning up at the summit. And one of those buses happened to be in motion coming down, and the driver lost all power, and if it wasn't for his mechanical spring brake here on the bus, he probably would have had to try to use a guardrail to stop the bus, and there's no guarantee that would have stopped the bus. We haven't had any instances of lightning strikes or lightning striking a vehicle up here this year, even though we've had probably triple the amount of thunderstorms this year compared to last year. Fingers crossed. There's going to be a thunderstorm that'll roll in later on this afternoon, so the rangers often tell us a story about a gentleman who came to the park to go camping, and he set up camp somewhere here in the park, and shortly after that he was attacked by a bear. He did survive the attack, and the gentleman came back the following year and set up camp in a completely different location here in the park and was attacked by the same bear. What he did to this bear in a before life, I am not sure, but this bear had it in. He did survive both attacks. Directly in front of us. You guys will get a better look at it once we get up a little higher. There have not been any avalanches this winter season in the park. Last year there were 2. There was debris all on the left bank, all across the road, all down the right side of the bank. The park's done a pretty good job of cleaning up most of that debris. But when we come around this bend here, if you guys look to your right, up there on the bank, you will see the remaining debris from last year's avalanches. Yeah, this is not my favorite part of the park. There are 5 ski runs here in the park off to the right, and right here in this area is where the skiers and snowboarders like to gear up and hitchhike their way up to Devil's Playground and come down one of the 5 ski runs here in the park. Last year we had skiers and snowboarders up here clear until the middle of July. What is known as the timberline, and you won't find much vegetation past this point besides small flowers, grass, and permafrost, and you won't find much wildlife past this point either besides bighorn sheep, marmots, and birds, although I have seen beavers past the timberline. And this is where the turns get really tight. By request, for picture's sake, I can get as close to the edge as you guys would like, just let me know. And directly in front of the bus across the way is what's left of the avalanche shelf, kind of slightly to the right now. And I'm gonna say, if you're driving this slow and in the middle of the road, you should have taken the shuttle. That's just my opinion. And we have just now entered what is known as the switchbacks. And right around here is where you kind of start to notice the drop in temperature a bit. And this is usually where the wind starts to pick up. this point of our journey, if you guys look out to your left, kind of towards the front of the bus, you can see the city of Colorado Springs down there. Usually the city is under the clouds, but it's a fairly clear day. It's a little hazy, but you can still make out the city.
Drop off, you can't see it with the camera, but coming back is going to be a challenge.
My first time. My first time he was driving. He's like, you have to stop or I'm
14,115. Let's see, there's been snow up here since the end of September is when the mountain got snow-capped. And just before it all melts away, we'll get another storm in September and it'll get snow-capped all over again. And this particular snowbank in May was at 10 feet. Last year it got up to 15 feet. The park that is known as the Devil's Playground, and it has been nicknamed the Devil's Playground because when there are thunderstorms up here and the lightning strikes the rocks, it actually jumps from rock to rock, and that's because of the high iron content. That is a phenomenon I have not personally experienced, nor do I really want to. I've been in enough severe thunderstorms up here to know I want no part of that. I can tell you that they are not shy at all. They will come right up to your car. They will come right up to the bus. And that is because people feed them even though they're not supposed to. They're not aggressive even when they have their little babies with them, which I'm surprised. Those are females. They don't have any babies with them. Alright, I stopped the bus to show you guys something really quick. So if you look out to your right, kind of diagonally in between the mountain ranges back there, you guys see that kind of brown slopey structure back there? Like kind of diagonal in the corner. That is the gold and silver mine out in Cripple Creek. And supposedly it is the country's most lucrative mine. It brings in about $1 million or more a day. It is a 24-hour, 365 operation, 7 days a week. They can never stop working out there. And besides using dynamite, the other process taken by the miners out there is they pour acid down the face of the mountain to expose the gold and silver that they extract. And the mine separates two historic mining towns, one being Victor, the other being Cripple Creek. Really cool little small towns, a lot of old abandoned mining equipment out there, abandoned mines, old architecture. Cripple Creek has a population of almost 1,000, but they have 21 casinos in their town. Yeah. And Cripple Creek is also the birthplace of the root beer float. Yep. And there are, I think there's like 3 mining tours that you can take out there where they'll take you about 1,000 feet in the ground. Known as the bottomless pit. It is a straight drop down to the bottom over 10,000 feet high. And a lot of times I see guests out on the very edge of these cliffs taking pictures. And it gets really windy in this portion of the park. Like really windy. Yeah. I don't mind driving big vehicles, but I don't think I would drive one of those dump trucks out there. Actually, I'm used to driving a 40-foot bus up here on the peak. This is a 25-foot bus. This year they wanted smaller buses. I'm not sure why, but I would prefer to drive a bigger bus. It has more power. They handle a little bit better. So usually from this point up to the summit is where the bighorn sheep usually are. Like I said, they're usually not that far down, and I'm guessing it's because of the weather. And I am surprised we have not seen any marmots yet. They're usually out sunbathing around this time. I've never seen a marmot until I moved here. So. When the bighorn sheep are out in full force, this is usually where they are. There's a little pond here for them to get some water. And a lot of times you can see them grazing or laying down in between the rocks on both sides of the road here. 115 feet, which is also the address of the visitor center up at the top. And at that altitude, you're only breathing in about 60% oxygen, so definitely stay hydrated while you're up here. And although Pikes Peak is one of the highest accessible peaks in our country, it's not even the highest in Colorado. It ranks number 20. Highest peak in Colorado is Mount Elbert, and I forget the peak elevation of that mountain. I do know the highest peak in our country is Mount McKinley or Denali, whichever you want to call it, in Alaska, and that peak is 20,000 feet. So about 6,000 higher than Pikes Peak. I do hear a lot about the high elevation donuts that you can get up here from guests and my co-workers. I've never had them. I don't eat sweets, but I hear they are really good. The trick is you're supposed to eat them while you're up here, because if you try to take them down, they kind of fall apart on you. And they've been making those high altitude donuts up here since 1916, same year the motor race started. And besides the view decks being outside, everything else is inside the visitor center, downstairs. There's the bathrooms, the cafeteria, the museum, and the gift shop. And we have made it. Altitude 14115. And where I dropped you guys off at, just up ahead, is the same exact spot you would catch the shuttle going down. We try to space out the shuttles about 25 minutes or so apart. And if you are here for an extended stay, the very last shuttle leaves the summit at 6:15. I doubt you guys will be up here, but I give people that information so no one gets left.
Well, 大家好巴士都窒笑。The altitude of the peak is 14115.
That's a mining town over there.
How are you feeling, huh?
Oh, I'm guessing the shot. Can't see this.
Mining city. What is it called? Cripple Creek?
That's the mining town right there.
It's cold.
Wow, I thought that my phone is good at night pictures. He sent me a picture and it's the most blurry thing I've ever seen. He said when he got an ST5.
centuries, indigenous people have lived here, tracing their very creation to the mountain summit. European explorers and new American settlers also set their sights on the sacred mountain. Some, like explorer Zebulon Pike, were enticed by the challenge of reaching its summit. Others were lured by the prospect of Tava Kava, Sun Mountain. The name given centuries ago by the Ute people to a peak first touched by dawn's light. The Arapaho call it Hae Atauya, or the Long Mountain. To the Pawnee, it is Das Pei, mountain that touches the sky.
You okay? You okay?
This came up here.
You feeling like walking in air. So take it slow. Tell me what you're getting.
Getting this United States water bottle. It has one sticker for each state.
See, let's see the picture of the bottle. So as you travel to each state, you could just put a stick on it.
Yep. This is for baby Arthur.
It's gonna be a while before he could wear
Yeah, he
this.
can wear it next year. He
I don't
turns
think
2.
so. Turn around. It's nice. It's for you, baby.
Sure the
We're
zipper
thinking of
works?
you. Huh?
So the zipper works?
Yep, I did. Checked it. It's free water on Helen Hunt Fall.
Oh, this is not gonna go wrong.
What's that?
Collection coins.
I know I move really fast. She thought so no, move daily things. I need to take you to high altitude so you can slow down. Move tiếng kia còn đi lên xíu mama tao kể xe. Sợ đời mama xe. Chẳng tôi tao trong câu cơ, thì nó no xe.
Nè, cho nó thôi, ít chỉ bỏ tới sẽ lấy được to.
Trong câu này nó sáng rõ một trong lưới rồi. Is this Colorado Spring, as he said? Okay, looking down from Pikes Peak. It's also we stay somewhere in this area.
Okay, I'm gonna take it back to Mercy because she was crying for it. So sit right here and watch her talk. Take it back.
This is whatever's left of the first summit house. Woo! That's a pilot jet. Man, it's pretty close to us. And it's only a Pikes Peak with thin air that he's walking next to me slowly.
Oh, you can't really rush things up here.
Otherwise, I'll just be chasing him. I guess we need to come here more often.
No.
To stay side by side.
Let's go check it out.
Whew. So shit, you know? think they say you only get 60% of your oxygen up here. Oh, it's pretty windy.
The jet? No, it was flying. Oh, was it flying? Yeah. No, it was just flying like that. How did it fly so fast? Because that's how they're made.
Sounds cool.
Diate va chichiche Nipu peña indu Saya sanya Pichala si Nya kana chinde Diate mo xiang mandang Rong gao cánh gao lý tia Tia shi lên tư Yo sa hai tia Yo chi mo nu đua mô Yo nê chi tao lon chênh Tha nê lon chênh ni nò Chư Giê-xu thua Song dong khao li Chỉ nê thì nê lưu chi Địa tê chi cho chi khá Chín đê yo ya yo pla Khá chia thơ hoa Tìm nên phênh chạc Và chư yo mua bỏ lạc Chư Giê-xu cho kê lưu Ya khá trên kênh thiết chùa Bên trên và chư Chỉ chế chỉ tu Muốn ya khá chỉ bỏ chùa Nhớ khói thân lạc Mô lý ít xì chỉ bảo khai Bê yôn ta và chư Nhớ khói thân lạc Mô lý ít xì chỉ bảo khai
There's a drop off, and that guy is way up there, Chicabon. Cứ chỉ chỗ nó cá nhá rong chỉ rong màu sau nó vì tôi khó một chút sau ở bao nhiêu hàng nữa. This is a slow motion walk. Every slab of the sidewalk is sponsored by somebody. So all these sidewalks around the area here, it's all sponsored. We happen to come on a very nice day, beautiful weather. Yesterday, our bus driver said toward the end of the day, they get snowed. It's like a foot height of snow yesterday. And I don't know if this is part of it, but there's still some snow here too. EMT standby all the time. The famous donut. Oh. Yeah.
What's
Shot
the
him.
plan?
Personal size pizza. The burger is nothing but just a patty. Cậu bé đoàn lúc burger đó sao? Nè.
Jam. Cậu lót hả tí chứ? Cậu lót ngon rồi.
Okay.
Yeah, not complete yet. Soon.
We did a lot though. We went to a lot of states. So we still have, what's that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Okay.
30.
30 out of 50.
Some we done more, some of these you just don't want to count.
No, we just passed by. I don't want to count.
We drove to
Drove
Nebraska
by.
like dozens of times.
Drove by, don't count. Unless you count Maranatha. No joke, just to climb these stairs. Oh. Our Pikes Peak adventure ends here. If you have not been to it, put it on your bucket list. It will take your breath away. And please do share your experience. Thank you for following us.